If you've ever looked at your calendar, your payslip, or you've got home from work and thought, I was actually made for way more than this, you're absolutely right. I'm going to show you in this video how I've closed millions of dollars in sales without setting up a business, without scripts, without a team, without marketing, just one thing. Now, don't expect a complicated formula here or something that's going to give you millions of pounds a month, because that's not it. This is the exact plan that I'd put in place if I wanted to earn $500 to $1,000 a day again tomorrow. If someone took away all my money, all my connections, all my knowledge. So let's get into it. Most people think that in order to be successful,
to success,
in order to earn $500 to £1,000 a day, you need to set up a business, you need to get a better job, you need to invest in the perfect crypto coin, or find some other bullshit thing online. But I'm here to tell you, through trial and error, all of those things are not the quickest road to earning this sort of money. And if you're watching this, you may be trapped in a cycle that most people stay in for the remainder of their life. At the beginning of this cycle, there's the trigger. You might hate your job, you might be sat in traffic, and you might see some TikTok or YouTube about someone making 10K a day or 10K a month with no effort and make money while you sleep. The emotion that you're feeling right there is like desperation and hope. And that'll lead you to the second stage, which is the lure. And then maybe you buy into this shiny new thing. Maybe it is a crypto coin. Maybe it's a new online business that's brand new, or some brand new side hustle that's come out that seems like the best thing in the world and you can make money while you're asleep. So you dive in. You don't vet the model, you don't do any research, you just buy that thing because it feels like it's the quickest road to get you out of your current situation. So at that point, you're going to be feeling this like euphoric feeling mixed with this urgency, because it feels like it's the quickest way to get you out of your current situation. Then you get onto stage 3, which is the burn. It's either way harder than it looks, it's complete bullshit, and because you were so urgent to make a change, you probably get overwhelmed and nothing really happens. You might blame yourself and lose a lot of confidence, or just say that you got scammed. So you're going to be feeling shame, frustration. Some of you might have actually already done this already and know how much it hurts. Then we get on to stage 4, which is the retreat, where you basically conclude that everything online is bullshit. You double down on your 9 to 5 and decide, do you know what? I'm going to stick to what I know, get better at my job, because that's the only
thing that's real.
And ultimately, at least it's secure, right? So you're going to be feeling this like resignation here. Like, do you know what? Let's just go back to what I know. Then you move into stage 5, which is the final stage before you loop back around. And this is where you're still broke, you're still tired, you still don't enjoy your job, you're still seeing all these other people that are living this life of freedom. And eventually you'll just get triggered by the same plan. Most people keep going around in these circles. Most people do it every year, some people do it every couple of years, and they never actually get what they're looking for because they're looking for a quick fix. It's like trying to fix the engine of a car by polishing the exterior. So how do you actually break out of this cycle? You can do it with what I'm going to call my lazy sales formula. Now, this is not for someone who wants to earn £1 million a month. This is for someone who's going to be really happy with $500, $1,000, £2,000 of dollars every single day. The first thing you need is a solid sales framework. You need to know how to sell, how to communicate. You need a proven system to communicate to buyers, persuade them, and position yourself as that authority, trusted individual.
It's all about communication, fellas.
There are so many different frameworks out there. Some are right, some are wrong. I have my own sales framework, which I help people with. But that's the first thing. You need the high value skill of sales and communication to begin with. Okay, so now you've got the skill. Where do you go from here? You need to try and find one offer. Not just any offer. This has got to be a transformational offer. It's got to be high ticket and it's got to be emotionally urgent. So let me give you some key examples here. One might be divorce-proof coaching for men. The second might help women in tech progress their career. The third might be an AI automation plan for marketing agencies, or maybe late life wealth planning for people who are over 40 who don't have any sort of investment plan in place. Now, I've not just invented these things, all 4 of these I've actually sold. And why do they work? Because the people who are coming onto those calls have a genuine need for your product or service. You're not selling something that's luxury, you're selling something that offers a real transformation. So more often than not, the people you're speaking to genuinely want to speak to you and they need help. Which, when it comes down to sales, is going to make your life infinitely easier. The next is going to be a niche buyer avatar. I prefer selling to not everyone, not a product that's suitable for everyone, someone very, very specific. And this brings me back to the offer itself, because if you're focusing on one person, often whoever you're working for knows how to communicate with that purchaser. So again, when they come onto the sales call, they feel as though this product is made for them. Okay, finally, the last thing is an established traffic source. With sales jobs, you don't want to jump onto an offer where people are relying on so many different things, trying new things all the time, and leads are ultimately going like this. You want them to have one established traffic source. This could be YouTube. Does the person who you're working with have an established YouTube following or an established LinkedIn following? For you, that gives you that real security that leads are always going to be at a certain level and they're always going to be of a certain quality. What you don't want to do is jump onto an offer where it's someone's first campaign, they're still split testing ads, they're not really there yet. Some days you have one customer in your diary, another day you have 12. That's fine as an extra, but ideally you want one established traffic source. So who can this actually work for? Well, it can work for anyone really, but there is a varying levels of success and what you can earn dependent on your skill level. So let me break it down for you. If you're going to be like a 2 or a 3K a month person, you're going to need the following skills. First, some client-facing experience. So have you worked in a job where you're speaking with the general public on a daily basis? These are just foundational skills that enable you to communicate with confidence. If you've been locked in your bedroom playing Xbox games for the past 10 years, you're probably going to need some more foundational work on how to communicate before coming into this space. Then you're going to need some like basic understanding of CRMs, Zoom, Google Meet, Google Docs, the tools that we use on a daily basis to track sales, speak to leads, communicate online and digitally. What you can't be doing is jumping on an offer and not even know that yet. And if you want to earn 2 or 3K a month, probably reading some sales books, watching maybe 50 hours of YouTube sales training will get you to that level. And maybe practicing with friends and family of the things that you've learned in these sales books and on these YouTube channels. Okay, that's level 1 of earnings, 2 or 3K a month. Let's look at level 2, around the 5K a month mark, and what skills you will need to earn that sort of money. So at 5K a month, more often than not, you should probably have some level of sales experience, or maybe a higher level of client-facing role. Maybe you've been a finance manager, but essentially you've been dealing with high-level prospects on a regular basis. So at 5K a month, if you're coming into this world, to be honest, you're going to need some level of sales experience. Or potentially you've been in a corporate position where it was familiar to be speaking with people on a regular basis, high-level prospects. And maybe you should join some of the courses that are out there on high-ticket sales so you get an even better understanding of how to actually close these deals in a one-call close. Because if you don't have that, then you're just not going to succeed and you're not going to hit that 5K a month. Now, let's look at the third level here when it comes to this industry. If you want to be earning 10, 15, 20, 30, 50K a month in this space, let me break down the skills that you actually need. Okay, number 1, again, realistically, you're going to need some level of experience in sales or in another client-facing role, maybe M&A, finance, or real estate. The second is by having an actual mentor. Now, there is a reason for this, because how you go from earning 5K a month to 10, 15, 20, and the rest is by having someone over your shoulder watching your calls and giving you real-time feedback. Now, why is a mentor important? Because ultimately, the difference between 5K a month and 10 and 15 and 20 is by having someone who's more advanced than you watch over your shoulder and analyze your calls and give you real-time constructive criticism so every call gets better and your close rate increases. It's as simple as that. I've been in sales for 10 years and I still have a mentor right now, if not multiple mentors at a time. And the third skill that is paramount if you want to be a 10, 15, 20K a month closer is treat sales like a skill to master, not a job. Think of it like chess or jiu-jitsu or playing guitar. You can always be getting better. You can never complete this game. And to be honest with you, 10K a month, that 500 or £1,000 a day that I mentioned in the beginning, that's just the start. It's like one of my favorite quotes in Layer Cake. I think it's like, the art of good business is being a good middleman. And that's essentially what you are as a remote high ticket closer. And it's just maths. Let's say you take 4 calls a day and your close rate is 20%, which is really low. And you're on a £5,000 offer, that's your £500 a day. Simple as that. Now let's say you're taking 8 calls a day, and let's say your close rate is 40%. So you close 3 sales a day and you've earned yourself £1,500 of dollars. It all comes down to your skill and continuously developing your sales skills. Now, there might be some of you out there who are saying, well, I don't want to be in sales. Sales sort of gives me the ick a little bit, which I do get. But in this space, you're not a person who sells like Wolf of Wall Street.
Absolutely fucking not.
You're here to be the person who solves someone else's problems and gets paid for it. Ultimately, your job is just to help people get out of their own way and make a decision. If this feels like something that maybe you want to explore, maybe you want to be one of those higher earning closers, you want the time freedom, location, financial freedom, and you want to basically just start earning money in a way that feels right for you. And if you want my help, drop me a DM on Instagram and we'll delve into it in a bit more detail. Ciao.